We continue our extended conversation of the CNBC interview. And one curiosity is, how have the attitudes of buyers and sellers changed? And personally, I think sellers have been humbled somewhat. Sellers who might have missed the white hot market are working their way through those 5 stages of grief, coming to terms with what's actually happening. And the sooner they can get from denial to acceptance, the better they're going to fare in this market.
Now, many of those sellers indeed missed the peak. Yet, what they should really remember is even with inventory creeping up to 2 months, we're currently at half the inventory that we normally see.
Mhm.
So I think everyone was spoiled with home taking a day, sometimes a week, to sell, and now we're at 2 months, and it seems like that's a huge negative or a big problem. But again, we're at half the inventory that we normally see. So the chances of a seller being seen by buyers is still extremely high. But I think this is important to be considering as a seller.
Mhm.
Once the store shelves are full, so to speak, once there's a lot of inventory on the market, and I think we'll start to see more and more coming up, buyers will have more choices. And that always makes the seller's position soften. So truly, just think about the basics of the supply and demand rule.
Yeah. And sellers really need to get to acceptance more quickly, and understanding that they don't have to annihilate a buyer to realize a sizable return. They still have experienced a very healthy appreciation over the past few years, even with the upward trajectory mellowing.
Mm-hmm. And for buyers, it's going to be a unique situation because truly we have an environment where there's opportunities for both sides of the transaction. So buyers are finally hopeful. There was a lot of despair over the last few years. If you were a buyer, it was very painful. But now there's an opening. The buyers have some leverage. They also have some breathing room because it was stressful for them and for the agents, to the pressure, to get out there, to see something, to make a decision that's this important in such a quick period of time, because they would see opportunities just evaporate, in less than a few hours. That kind of has taken off. It's taken a step back, thankfully.
Right. And it should be comforting and honestly provide a catalyst to get buyers moving into action. And comparatively, rates are still historically low. With the increased number of options and affordability being where it's at, they really don't have to be in reactive mode and be a victim to the market that they can't control any longer. But confusion and uncertainty, misinformation, that does create some paralysis, and that's unfortunate.
And some buyers are hitting pause on that. And, I just think about, buyers who are even contracting and getting cold feet.
Yeah.
After they go under contract and they're terminating. I think the statistic we were able to pull was that statewide 7% of contracts fall off. Now, some of them will be, some other issue, maybe a inspection issue, but a good part of those, we just know from working in the market that people just get cold feet. They see something on the news, maybe they get some misinformation, and they hit that pause button. And I know from my experience over the last 24 years, it's a long time, that pause often results in some regret.
I mean, think about the buyers who paused last year and now have higher borrowing costs to contend with. We do know appreciation will continue, but what we're looking at now will cost more later.
Oh, definitely. And I hate having those conversations with buyers when they see, a good lender will be able to show you what happens if the rate goes up 0.5%, and that should be enough motivation as well, because it's nearly impossible really to outsave when you have rising rates and you also have rising appreciation. It's impossible to outsave that. So while a buyer will be doing their best to be frugal and be a good steward and put some money away, all gets eaten up like that when rates go up, or if you have a 6, 8, 10% appreciation in a year, and you're buying a $500,000 house, and that's just, almost a starting price in most of our markets, it's impossible to have saved, in addition to what you normally need to save, another $50,000 just to make up the appreciation.
And really the point that we are making is that action is what is needed right now. That's really going to be the difference to your overall success in building wealth through real estate. So please keep coming back and listen to what we have to say next time as well. Thanks for joining us.